Hello, sports fans, and welcome to night number 2 of the NFL Draft. Round 1 is in the books. And we are 21 minutes away from the start of round 2 of the NFL Draft. And there was a lot of interesting picks and surprising ones last night. And as you know, the Browns took, with the 26th pick, the Browns took Greg Newsome, the second cornerback, Northwestern University. And so we'll talk about that and all the other picks in round 1 in just a sec and get ready for round 2. But first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 NFL Draft trivia question. In which round was Tom Brady drafted? I will have the answer later in the podcast. Now, as I just mentioned, the Browns selected with the 26th pick in the first round Greg Newsome, the second cornerback, Northwestern. I thought they would take a linebacker or a wide receiver, and so did my guest Matt Murphy and also his brother-in-law Joe Monahan, but they did not. So, but I think this wasn't good to get an extra cornerback. He's a nice guy, and I think we'll see him in some games this upcoming season if he makes the roster, so I have to wait and see. But I think this was a good choice, though, in the first round. But I would have rather have seen him take a wide receiver like Bateman or a linebacker, but we'll see what they do tonight with the 59th pick. But we're going to recap round 1 from last night. With the Jacksonville Jaguars had the first pick, and they took quarterback Trevor Lawrence from Clemson, and we all knew that was going to happen. We all knew that. And I think, and with the second pick, the Jets, they took Zach Wilson, quarterback BYU, and I think all the Jets fans knew that was going to knew about that they were going to take that one. With the third pick of the draft, the 49ers, as you know, traded with Miami for that one. And they took Trey Lane, quarterback from North Dakota State. And we are about 19 minutes away from the start of round 2. Getting back to recapping round 1, the Atlanta Falcons, their defense is terrible, and I felt they should have taken something defensively, but they took a tight end, Kyle Pitts from Florida. I thought they should have taken a quarterback or something, but they took a tight end. But in Cincinnati, they should have taken either an offensive tackle or a safety, I felt, or a wide receiver. They took Jamar Chase from LSU. The Miami Dolphins, with the 6th pick, were traded with the 49ers. I moved down to the 6th. They took wide receiver Jaden Waddle, Alabama, and Joe Monahan and myself, who was Matt's brother-in-law, Joe Monahan, he felt that was a good pick, and so did I. And with the 7th pick in the first round, the Detroit Lions took Penny Sewell, offensive tackle, Oregon. And I felt that was a good pick for them because they need help in every which way possible. The Carolina Panthers, who traded Teddy Bridgewater to the Denver Broncos, as I mentioned last night, they took J.C. Horn, quarterback, South Carolina. I felt that was a fair pick. I felt they should have taken a tight end, or even a running back, or even an offensive tackle. They should have taken, or an offensive lineman. But I think this might have been a fair or good pick. I can't. It's hard to say. With the 10th pick, the Philadelphia Eagles took Devontae Smith, wide receiver, Alabama. I thought that was a good pick for them. And with the 11th pick, the Dallas Cowboys traded that to the Bears, and they took the Chicago Bears with their 11th pick, took Ohio State Buckeyes quarterback Justin Fields, and I thought the Bears were right to take that one because they were in need of a quarterback, And Mitch Trubisky did not. He had he had a decent season, but he battled a lot of injuries last year, and I just felt that this was a good pick for them. And now Dallas had the 12th pick, and they took Micah Parsons, linebacker, Penn State, and I thought that was a good pick for them. They needed a linebacker. And with the 13th pick in the first round, the LA Chargers took Rashawn Stater, guard Northwestern, and I felt that was a good pick for them. And well, I mean, they should have taken something defensively though. I felt with the 14th pick, the Jets took Elijah Vera Tucker, offensive forward, offensive lineman from USC. And with the 15th pick, the New England Patriots took Mac Jones, quarterback, Alabama, and I thought that was a sort of an interesting pick that kind of surprised me. And the Arizona Cardinals took linebacker Zayvon Collins from Tulsa, and I think that was a good choice for them. I had a feeling Arizona was wanting to get him. The Las Vegas Raiders took Alex Leatherwood, offensive tackle, Alabama, and that was interesting. And I didn't think they were going. I wasn't sure if they were going to take him, but it was kind of an interesting one. The Miami Dolphins, who had the 18th pick in the first round as well, took Jalen Phillips, defensive end, Miami, and I thought that was a good pick for them too. The Washington football team had the 19th pick, and they took Jamin Davis, linebacker, Kentucky, and I think that was a good pick for them too. I didn't know much about that one. The New York Giants, with the 20th pick in the draft, they took Cardias Tani, wide receiver, Florida, and I thought that was a good pick because they needed a wide receiver. That one I thought was a good pick. But I don't know much about him right now, but I mean, he did have some big numbers. With the 21st pick, the Indianapolis Colts took Kawiti Pay, defensive end, Michigan, and I think the Colts made a good pick. I think they needed a defensive end, but I think they need a wide receiver as well. And hopefully they could take one tonight. With the 22nd pick in the first round, in round one, I'll just say that, the Tennessee Titans took Caleb Farley, and I knew they were going to take that one. Cornerback, Virginia Tech, but I felt they should have taken a tight end or a wide receiver or a defensive lineman, I felt. So this was something that I thought, this was a good pick for them, though, and I had a feeling Tennessee was going to take them in the first round. With the 23rd pick in round one, the Minnesota Vikings took Christian Darsaw, offensive tackle, Virginia Tech, and I thought that was a good pick for them. And with the 24th pick, the Pittsburgh Steelers took Najee Harris, running back, Alabama, and I thought that was that they were looking for a running back, and I felt that they were going to take Harris. And once the Jacksonville Jaguars also had the 26th pick in the 25th pick in the draft. They took Travis Antonin, running back, Clemson. And I thought they needed a running back, and I thought this was a good pick for Jacksonville. But I don't know much about Travis Antonin, but I know they're going to try to make the roster. Now, I mentioned with the 26th pick that Browns took Greg Newsome II, cornerback, Northwestern. It's a different Newsome now. It's a new Newsome. So, but I don't know much about him, and he is a great guy, and he's a nice guy, and he is a great player. But I thought that my friend Matt Murphy and I and Joe Monahan, we thought the Browns were going to take a linebacker or a wide receiver. But this was a good pick, and we thought that taking Greg Newsome was a good choice. With the 27th pick in the round one, the Baltimore Ravens selected Rashad Bateman, wide receiver in Minnesota, and I think they were wanting to get a wide receiver or a running back or a linebacker, but they have everything, and I think they wanted to take Rashad Bateman. I think that's what they were looking to take. With the 28th pick, the New Orleans Saints picked defensive end Peyton Turner from Houston. And I think this was a good choice. I don't know much about Peyton Turner, but he did put up some big numbers at Houston. But I think this was a good choice. With the 29th pick, the Green Bay Packers selected Eric Stokes, cornerback Georgia. The Buffalo Bills, with the 30th pick, selected Gregory Rousseau, defensive end Miami. And I thought that was a good choice. They needed a defensive end, Buffalo. With the 31st pick of the draft, the Baltimore Ravens, selecting Jason Owe, linebacker, Penn State, And I thought that was a good choice. They needed a linebacker. I think they were wanting to get one. And with the 31st pick, the reigning Super Bowl champion, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, selected Joe Tryon, linebacker, Washington. And I thought that was a good choice for them because they were in need of a linebacker as well. But basically, it was an interesting night. And my surprise picks were the 49ers taking Trey Lance. That was a surprise. Jalen Waddle, that was a surprise. Miami taking him. And Justin Fields, the Bears taking Justin Fields, OSU quarterback. Those are my three surprise picks. We'll get back to more in a minute. Right now, it's time to reveal the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 NFL Draft Trivia question. In which round was Tom Brady drafted? And if you said the 6th round, you are correct. Selected with the 199th pick overall in 2000 in the 6th round, Tom Brady didn't arrive in the NFL with much excitement after his Michigan career. Brady proved to be the biggest steal in draft history, and it's considered by many to be the greatest to play the game. I'll have another trivia question on my next podcast. It probably won't be tomorrow, but it'll be the one after that. So just stay tuned for that. We're going to take a break. We're about 8 minutes away from the start of the round 2 of the NFL Draft, and we'll get that underway when we return. Stay with us.